At this time, please remove your hat and place your hand over your heart as we honor our country by the playing of our national anthem.
On behalf of the underclassmen of Nicholas County Middle and High School, we'd like to take this time to have a moment of silence for the class of 2020. Thank you.
Hello, Nicholas County. I want to congratulate your high school graduates on a big day. I know that this day is a little different than you probably envisioned it a year ago. We're in the midst of a worldwide pandemic, which means we can't get together. But who else is going to be able to say that they chose the health and lives of their fellow human beings and Kentuckians over being together for that special moment? Even on this day, you are making a great sacrifice, and for that, we are very grateful. But I hope today that you are just as excited as you would have otherwise been, because this is a really important moment. Your degree is going to help you as you move forward, whether it is on to other educational opportunities or into the workforce. And as we come out of this pandemic, and we will, I hope each of you will take a little bit of the kindness and compassion that you and other Kentuckians have shown during this crisis, and that we make sure we are better people and a better Commonwealth and better neighbors as we move forward. You all have been amazing. And because of that, we have saved countless lives. So I hope tonight that you celebrate not only graduating from high school, but you celebrate that your good work and your sacrifice are truly helping people out there. Congratulations. We're so proud of you.
Good evening. What an honor it is for me to be here with you as the principal of Nicholas County High School. I would like to welcome each of our families, friends, the Board of Education, Mr. Buchanan, the faculty, and the graduating class of 2020. And thank you to everyone for joining us today as we recognize the outstanding accomplishments of each member of the class of 2020. Our guest speaker is no stranger to Nicholas County. He has been a coach, teacher, and mentor to many students along the way. It is my privilege to invite Coach Greg Letcher to the podium.
Hello, class of 2020. Congratulations, graduates. Today's a great day, even though it isn't the graduation day that you expected. I consider it a great honor to be your speaker today. I'm sure I speak on behalf of many of your teachers, administrators, family members, past graduates, our community, and people across the nation when I tell you how extremely proud of you we are. How I became your speaker? Well, Miss Allison and Mr. Earlywine approached me about speaking at graduation last year, but I procrastinated and said I would do it next year. Josh didn't forget, and he gave me a call last week, and I knew I had to do it. I've had 4 daughters to graduate from Nicholas County, and my 5th and last is graduating in the class of 2020. Now, I may refer to it as 2020, so forgive me on that. Really don't know if it's 2020 or 2020, but you know what I mean. As our mortarboard or graduation cap says, the last lecture girl is out. When called upon to do things you're not comfortable in doing, and believe me, I'm not real comfortable in doing this, I always refer back to or try to reflect on times or things that helped me get through pressure situations. And the three things that I thought about when I was asked to do this: number one, this bracelet that we've come up with, we've got this. So I know I got this. The second thing is Bible verses. You know, one of my Bible verses I refer back to is Joshua 1:9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. I want you to always remember that. And the third thing deals with acronyms. And we'll get into that a little bit more as I go through what I want to say today. But I put this on paper because you never know where you're going to go when you're asked to give a speech if you don't have it on paper and some guideline to keep you on track. So that's what I'm going to try to do today, is stay on track. So in thinking about what I would say to the class of 2020, several thoughts and prayers continually race through my mind. What makes this so hard is because each student, coach, faculty, and staff member and administrator has for each one of you, the love that they have for each one of you at Nicholas County. He says, if we do not care, this would not hurt. And believe me, this time does hurt. You know, beginnings are scary, endings are even scarier. But the middles are what count. You were born during the 9/11 era. Your final day of school was March the 13th, a Friday, and now a pandemic. Your memories thus far from 2001 to 2020. Those memories will never go away. But today starts your next middle, from 2020 to whatever. You know, that hyphen is a big thing. It's in the middle there. You know, Coach Hop oftentimes refers to that as your legacy. To know today starts the big part of your legacy that you're going to leave. I know there are bright futures for the class of 2020 and beyond, and I am so proud of each of you. Before I get started with what I'd like to say today, I'd like to thank, first of all, the Board of Education, the administration, the faculty members and staff, parents and family members, class of 2020, for the perseverance and teamwork you've shown during these unusual times that we never thought would happen. You know, I'd like to quote Dwayne Kinney. Dwayne's a former student of mine, and he made a quote the other day that I read, and I think he would allow me to share this with you. He says, "We have the best administrators, teachers, and staff on the planet. They have the biggest hearts and care so much. They go above and beyond for our students." I feel most of the class of 2020 and their families share the same sentiments. We are blessed. Many of you I've had in class, went to school with, or have had the privilege of knowing. The love and support preparing NTI packets, homeschooling, providing meals, Zooming, and countless other things that you've shown these kids during these trying times has been simply amazing. If we could give you a standing ovation, I'm sure we would. And we can give you a standing ovation and think about that while you sit in your cars here at the drive-in honoring these graduates, or you're online. You know, wherever you may be, you might consider clapping your hands in gratitude for the love these people have showed to these students. In my 61 years, I suppose I've been to approximately 35 graduations. I might not have attended 2 or 3 back when I first started teaching. I might have been playing in a softball tournament or something like that. Heaven forbid. I might have missed a graduation, but I've probably been to at least 35, including my own in 1977 from here at Nicholas County. I guess the older I get, the more I reflect and reminisce as seniors enter graduation and they're seated. I think about what you may be thinking about. I'm sure there's a sense of pride in what you've accomplished. I'm sure there's a sense of uncertainty as to what your future may hold. Some of you may have your career paths laid out for you, and simply a matter of moving on from high school and going on to do what you've prepared to do. Others, however, may be like me, moving to college without a clear idea of what your profession might be. My memories in 1977 when I graduated from NCHS are pretty vivid, and I think pretty clear, even though I don't think I'm nearly as sharp as I used to be or ever was. That school year, we missed over a month of classes due to a very harsh winter starting in January. My recollection is that we went back to school one day after Christmas break, then the snow began. Just when it seemed the roads were clear enough to resume school, old man winter came again. There was an energy crunch at the time as well, and we did not return to school till Valentine's Day. If you're counting, that's over a month of classes that we missed. That shoved our graduation back to mid-June. You know, here it is the second week in May, or the first weekend in May, or second weekend in May, or third weekend in May, and you're getting to graduate. We didn't graduate till mid-June. And it required us to also go to extended days of school. You know, our school day, after we went back, started around 8 in the morning, and we didn't get out to about 3:40 in the afternoon, and that was without air conditioning. That was without co-op. I remember my last period class was typing. Yes, as a senior, I'm taking a typing class. It lasts an hour and 20 minutes. And it's been ingrained in my brain from my teacher. Sit up straight, both feet on the floor, fingers on the home keys, wrists curved. I heard that constantly for an hour and 20 minutes, and probably in a classroom that some days registered about 100 degrees. And that was at 3:30 or 3:40 in the afternoon. So I might not have been a pandemic like you have, but back then we considered that a pandemic in 1977, believe me. Times have changed as to what you've been going through and what you've been taking. Education has changed. What I remember most about my graduation, it was hot and extremely long. We graduated in what is now the middle school gym. Our speaker was Reverend Ben Pumphrey Jr. He was a great guy, extremely smart. Can't remember any details about what he said. You may say the same things today, but you can sit in the comfort of your vehicle close to your family. When I did graduate, I knew I was going to college, but I had no idea what I was going to do when I went there. One of my best friends was going to Morehead State to take a couple of foreign language classes and a couple of math classes so he'd get his ACT score up in order to be able to get into the Air Force Academy. He did graduate from the Air Force Academy, and he was a graduation speaker here at NCHS a few years ago. I decided I'd get my degree in business, and after my junior year, I decided to get a teaching endorsement. I graduated and been working in the education field and coaching for 38 years. I've had a good life. I've made many mistakes along the way, as you will, the 2020 graduates, but truly have enjoyed my jobs, and especially the people that I have worked with along the way. A couple of things I remember are almost certain of when I was in your seat in 1977. One, I would not be speaking at a graduation. And two, I would never live through a pandemic. Believe me when I say this, Nicholas County has prepared you to be a success, regardless of what you choose to do. Past graduates can attest to this. It's up to you to do it. One of these days, one of you may come back to speak at graduation about the time before, during, and after a pandemic. Today, I want to leave you with three things that I think have been important to me, are important to you as you leave this place. And maybe you'll remember them, maybe you won't, but they stick with me. And they're things that I try to preach in whatever it is that I do. One of the things is we break down before games or after games in football and basketball with three things. We say, what are we? And we say team. We say, what do we have? And we say pride. And we say, together we win. So those are the acronyms that I was talking about. Team, pride, and win. You know, team stands for together, everyone achieves more. And I think today we're a testament to that. The second thing, pride, and I brought this in. You know, we got the P, the R, and we got the one in place of the I because there's not really an I in team. the D, and the E. When I became the head football coach back in the late 80s, one of the first things I did was went out and bought all the players' Schimmel shirts. And these were cut-off T-shirts that they wore underneath their shoulder pads, and we'd wear them on Thursday in our pregame practice. It had Nicholas County football and what you saw there, the pride factor. And I felt like that's something that we had to instill, or I had to instill, or we as coaches had to instill in our players in order to get them to perform to the best of their abilities. And I think they bought in. And I think that sense of pride has been a part of what we've been about ever since then. But I want to explain to you a little bit what those letters represent. And maybe you'll remember them. You probably have seen them. They're around everywhere and just about everything that you wear sometimes. Now, some people may use different words to represent the letters, but here's what I come with. The P stands for a positive attitude. You know, you've heard it said, your attitude determines your altitude. Well, I'm a firm believer in that. And it's not likely that you ever be successful thinking that you will not be successful. So a big part of a positive attitude, in my opinion, is confidence. Confidence in yourself is a must. How do you gain confidence? And I preach it all the time, is through hard work. So believe me, you want to have a positive attitude and you want to develop confidence, it's going to come about through hard work. You know, we always ask the question, and Coach Hop always asks this question at the end of practice that we have, did you outwork your opponent today? Did you outwork your opponent today? You know, that's the thing that you got to take with you when you leave here. Did you outwork, or did you get the most out of this day that's been offered you? Hopefully you can always say yes to most of those days. You know, I think about our football season just passed this year. And we lost our first game to Fleming County. The second game we're going to play at Pendleton County. And that game did not go the way we had hoped or planned. And the biggest thing that I saw that night, there was no fight. There was a lot of quit, bad body language, traits of a bad attitude. No, we as coaches, all coaches that we have on our football staff, all graduates of Nicholas County High School, you know, we were not used to seeing what we saw that night. And we said, that's got to change. So what we decided we got to do, we got to amp it up. Now we talk about amps: attitude, motivation, performance, success. So we decided, you know, we're going to amp it up. You know, we're going to be positive in our attitude. We're going to be motivated to work hard. And our kids bought into it to their credit. And a lot of them are here now as seniors getting ready to graduate. And that was probably the reason why that football team became one of the best, if not the best, that we've ever had here at Nicholas County High School. So don't forget about that. The second letter there is R, responsibility. And I also use reliability, and I also use respect. And there's another thing that comes into play here that come to my mind is gratitude. That two magic words, thank you. Don't ever forget those. But when I think about responsibility, I think about being on time and doing your best to getting the most out of your ability and doing the best of your ability. You know, I've heard excuses over the time that I've coached or been in school. Some of the most common are some examples of excuses. Somebody misses a fly ball, they blame the glove. They miss an assignment, they blame the teacher. They fail a class, they blame the system. A lot of times those blames come about because, number one, people don't listen. You know, that's a big word right there, is listen. You know, I've been watching The Last Dance documentary with Michael Jordan. And one of the things I pulled from that was this example right here. Michael Jordan has made $1.3 billion from his 36-year partnership with Nike. He originally wanted to sign a deal with Adidas before his parents made him listen to Nike's offer. $1.3 billion. I know we're not Michael Jordan, but there's somebody out there going to tell you something that you need to hear. I want you to make sure that you listen and don't miss it. As a graduate, take ownership of yourself and your future. The third thing there, the number one, I put down here is put God and faith in everything you do. And the key words that go along with faith are trust, persistence, and patience. And just remember, faith without works is dead. You know, my preacher, he says the keys to having a happiness is faith, family, knowing where your roots are, and fulfilling work. And believe me, I'm like him. Happiness is the key to success. Success is not always the keys to happiness. The fourth thing, determination. Never quit. Just remember, failure is going to be an integral part of success. Going back to The Last Dance and the commercial that's in that. Michael Jordan missed over 9,000 shots. He lost almost 300 games. 26 times he was trusted to take the last shot and missed. Failed over and over in my life, and that's why I succeed. So just take note of that. We're going to have failure, but just never quit. And we'll go back to this dedication thing. Only time determines your dedication. Only time determines your dedication. And the last thing is enthusiasm. Just remember that enthusiasm is contagious. When I think of contagious enthusiasm, I look at smile. And when I look at the class of 2020, that's the word that I remember about you is smile. Enjoys God's creation that's been provided for our enjoyment. Be excited about the opportunity, even though we live in uncertain times. Have fun. And then the last thing we break down with is when. What's important now? And I think what's important now is, number one, take care of yourself. Get plenty of rest, eat right, get exercise. Number two, make wise choices. Choices affect you, they affect other people as well. And the third thing is attitude, a positive attitude. Positive attitude. Now, as I close today, I'd just like to say you've been handed a challenge you didn't ask for. And now it's your time to rise to the occasion. Everyone alive today will remember the world before and after the pandemic. And you're the ones graduating right when it happens, for better or worse. You're the start of a new generation. You're the ones who are going to rebuild the world in the wake of a crisis. Safer, healthier, stronger, more fair, and more beautiful than it was before. I know it's disappointing that you didn't get a formal prom. Spring sports, oh, what might have been. Concerts, state competitions, a normal class night, banquets, hanging out with friends during your last days of high school, and a normal graduation. But remember, we are all proud of you, and you're made for greatness. I've been humbled to be your speaker. Stay safe, and remember, and I'm pretty sure you're probably tired of hearing this, but I'm going to end in this. We'll get through this. We'll get through this. We'll get through this together. And I'd like to leave you with what we sort of break down our practices with sometimes. Give me one clap, two claps, and our Ric Flair. Woo! Proud of you. God bless.
Before I present my remarks, I would like to take this opportunity to thank our assistant principal, Mr. Josh Earlywine, for his work with the staff, students, and families of Nicholas County. A special thank you also to the teachers who are committed to the success of every student and have gone above and beyond this year to connect with them. Students of the class of 2020, I stand in front of you today with gratitude. You have been a positive, passionate, and kind class of extraordinarily hardworking and successful young adults. You have had an incredible impact on this school and our community, and we all truly appreciate what you have done. We are also very aware that this is not how you or any of us expected your high school story to end. May I just say that even though you were thrown a huge curveball, you have an attitude and outlook that knocked the ball right out of the park. I truly believe that this time will make you more resilient in the uncertain times that will surely arise in your future. Resilient people are able to pick themselves up when they fall down or get knocked down. They look at mistakes or failures as opportunities to learn and get better. They are motivated by a desire to learn and grow. They are tenacious and resourceful in the face of seemingly unsurmountable obstacles. This has absolutely been an obstacle in the conclusion of your high school education. However, I hope you have learned something during this time. I hope you have learned to slow down and enjoy the time you've had with your families before you go and make your mark on this world. I hope you have learned to not take any moment for granted. It can all stop in a heartbeat. I hope you have learned that even though life might not always go the way you planned, that there is good in every day. Sometimes you just have to be creative to see it. Finally, before I conclude my remarks, I'd like to offer some advice. My advice to you is to cherish and protect what you've learned, what you love, and who you've become. Be wise, be safe, and be true to your roots. You now get to be the unique you that you have been creating. You get to be the author of your own life. Cherish that, honor that, and protect that ability, and be sure to take that opportunity to write a great story of success and happiness. You are well on your way to your own personal success and happiness. And I am so proud of each of you. And I am proud to work in a school and community that shares the values, beliefs, and expectations that are reflected in the work you have done during your time at Nicholas County High School. As you leave us for the final time today, leave knowing that we are all proud of you, impressed by you, we believe in you, and we are counting on you to do your best with what you have been given, to build your own lives, to help your families, your neighbors, and your communities, and to use your talents, whatever they may be, for the public good. And no matter where you go in life, no matter where you end up, be confident in yourselves, proud of who you are, and shine your light in this world. Congratulations to each of you. Congratulations to the class of 2020. Thank you, and I wish you all the very best. Mr. Buchanan, these students before us have completed the course of study as directed by the Kentucky Department of Education and the Nicholas County High School Council. Upon recommendation of the faculty of Nicholas County High School, I present you the class of 2020.
Graduates of Nicholas County High School, class of 2020. I'm sorry. From the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry that the spring of 2020, the year of the global pandemic, has led us to the point that we are in today. Nevertheless, I want you to know that what has went on in the world does not in any way diminish what you have done or the value that you have to Nicholas County Schools. As I sat down this week to come up with some advice for you, this graduating class, a lot of memories came back to me. I thought about seeing you that first day in kindergarten, crying and holding on to your parents' hands. I thought about your time in elementary school, your awards days, your events. I thought about those awkward middle school years when, ladies, you were about a foot taller than the guys. I remember your high school adventure, your varsity sports involvement, your extracurricular activities and awards. I've also remembered your voices, your smiles, your boyfriends and girlfriends, and your parents. Like a lot of others, we have been together through that journey with you. And tonight, in that difficult year that we live in, marks the end to that journey. While that journey may have not ended the way that any of us would have liked to, in my optimism, I believe you will be better for it. Someone once says, you can't be brave if you only had wonderful things happen to you. And as a graduate of Nicholas County Schools, I want you to be brave young men and women who are willing to take on the challenging of this ever-changing world. And this, as it should be, a graduation is always about new beginnings for all of your tomorrows. Over the past several years, the staffs of Nicholas County High School and schools, as well as your families, have watched you work, study, practice, play, grow, both mentally and physically. And now here you are, ready to take your place and members of the adult community. And before you take that journey, I would encourage you to take time to live in the moment and appreciate the memories you have made in these halls. I want you to know that you need to take time to thank your parents for supporting you. Hey, I know, as a parent of one of your classmates, I can tell you, it's not always easy raising a teenager. But you know what? Your parents never gave up on you, regardless of how brutal those teenage years were. They loved you unconditionally. For that, you owe them a lifetime of gratitude, praise, and respect. I want you to take time to thank our community. The choices you've made continually make our special community proud to support your future endeavors. I can't think of a community that is more involved in your future than ours. As time passes, I want you to remember our community and the good people that comprise it. A community that is so proud of your accomplishments and of you that they stop everything once a championship is earned to have a parade through town. Yes, our community is a special place and is so proud of the class of 2020. And I want you to thank them by repaying that debt, by being involved and taking on leadership roles. I want you to take time to thank our teachers, even the ones teaching the classes you didn't like. Because when you're sitting down in that first college class or with that demanding boss, you'll feel grateful for the deadlines they set for you or the work they made you do. Being an educator is more of a calling than it is a profession. You are the pride and joy of these educators that surround you. Being an educator is not always an easy task, and these folks have given the best of themselves to you. For many of you, you've been with us for the last 13 years. We have educated you, but most importantly, you've been part of our family. One of my favorite Bible verses is Luke 12:48, which says, "For much is given, much will be required." If you've heard that line of wisdom, you'll know it means that while we are held responsible for what we have, we'll be blessed with the talents, wealth, knowledge, time, and the like. It is expected that we benefit others. And as you progress through life's path, never forget home and the sacrifices that have been made by others to ensure your success. Let it be your life's mission to serve your community and improve the quality of life and health of its members with compassion, honesty, and integrity. And that is why tonight is such a happy time for me. Yes, we are having non-traditional graduation ceremony, but I feel proud in the fact that you are leaving Nicholas County Schools as a well-rounded individual. Talented persons that understand what it takes to in this world and your talents that can make use of it. On behalf of the staff of Nicholas County Schools, it is with honor that you will soon be called alumni. We sincerely wish you the beautiful life filled with happiness and success. Graduates, best of luck on the journey before you, and remember, once a Blue Jacket, always a Blue Jacket. Congratulations and good luck to the Nicholas County class of 2020. Will the graduates please come forward at the calling of their names?
Shannon Marie Knight.
Mark Samuel Livinggood.
Taylor Ray Fryman.
Dylan Scott White.
Hannah Lee Daly. Isabella Marie Peterman. Kagan Dawn Brierly. Camelia Dawn Applegate.
Gary David Ratliff Jr. Sarek Thomas James Weaver. Caleb Austin Newby.
Darby Malaya Wagner. Melissa Montserrat Guerrero Lopez.
J. Thomas Miller Ginnazio. Logan Scott Parton. Isaac James Lanzall. Caleb Rice Morgan. Jason Ethan Cleaver. Morgan Lee Plank. Jaden Tyler Purvis. Tyler Ray Horn. Quentin Michael Conyers.
Kiera Dawn Clayton. Caitlin Renee Warner. Leah Bridget Nicole Morris.
Michael James Tibbs Jr.
Brianna Faye Lane.
Matthew Gene Baxter. Gavin Michael Shannon.
Fielden Elizabeth Buchanan. Alyssa Jade Watkins.
Isaiah Kane McCall.
Mackenzie Gail Craig.
Keith Wesley Kearns.
Ella Grace Fulton. Macy Gail Duncan. Megan Elizabeth Faith Cobb. Sydney Nicole Ishmael.
Ethan Paul Fryman. Austin Michael Cottle. Johnny Arzanus Mans. Noah Gage Gritton.
Yasmin Nicole Clay.
Troy Carter Davis.
Cameron Christine Letcher. Bethany Kate Lyons.
Austin James Tubbs.
Olivia Brooke Watkins. Taylor Elizabeth Hunt.
Austin Thomas Shrout.
Brianna Alexis Hutchison.
Travis Lane Crump. Paul Sebastian Capo. Blaine Thomas Shandy. James Theodore Edwards. Zachary Douglas Linville.
Morgan Faith Watkins. Audra Rachel Feltz. Sydney Kate Gifford. Tiffany Nicole Hatton.
Joseph Reed Allison.
Ellie Grace DeRosset.
Peyton Reese Hall.
Trisha Garletta Livinggood. Heather Nicole Tincher. Jenna Tyann Sanders. Brittany Nicole Mers. Lauren Dawn Taylor McFarland. Janya Renee McFarland. Ariana Marie Cox.
Tyler Wayne House. Kane Saucedo Jr. Damian Thomas Fryman. Dawson Storm Hughes.
Allison McKay Earlywine.
Graduates, by the power invested in me, by the Nicholas County Board of Education and the Kentucky Department of Education, I now pronounce you graduates of Nicholas County High School.
Where the sun shines bright on my old Kentucky home. It's summer, the people are gay. The corn tops ripe and the fields are all in bloom, and the birds make music all the day. The young folks play on the little cabin floor, all happy and merry and bright. By and by hard times come a knocking at the door. Then my old Kentucky home, good night. Weep no more, my lady. Oh, weep no more today. We will sing one more song for the old Kentucky home, for the old Kentucky home far away. Oh, weep no more, my lady. Oh, weep no more today. We will sing one more song for the old Kentucky home, for the old Kentucky home far away. Yes, the sun shines bright on my old Kentucky home. It's summer, the people are gay. By and by, hard times come a knocking at my door. Then my old Kentucky home, good night.